Welcome back to Computer Science E1. This is Lecture 6, and this is our little surprise. So unbeknownst to those of you who are tuning in from afar, we just sat for our first hourly exam, and this subsequent hour is meant to be your opportunity to wind down a bit, hopefully poke fun at us a bit, and generally just put yourselves to the test in a more public forum, or at least some of you. With that somewhat vague introduction out of the way, I need a Vanna White of sorts. Someone who looks pretty twirling around down here, someone who looks masculine twirling around down here. Either will do. We just generally need someone to help us with some chalkboard work. You have to be comfortable appearing on film, needless to say, and we need you to have signed your life away on that waiver during the first lecture. But it's a non-speaking role. It is a non-answering role. It is perhaps the easiest of all the roles about to be auditioned off. Come on down. What is your name?
Christine Potter.
Christine Potter, come on down. No, not enough cheesy jokes for tonight. All right, so Christine is going to be our Vanna White of sorts. So if you could just stand beside me here for a moment, grab your favorite colored chalk. I now need 3 volunteers. So our first team, as we'll dub them tonight, will be your 3 feared teaching fellows. And as we have 4 remaining seats, needless to say, we're about to pit 4 of you against this trio here in a contest of wits. A contest of wits to which you have written the answers and the questions. So if we've ever set you up for success, hopefully this is now the night. But that means we have 4 seats to fill. Do I have a pair of friends who would like to come down here and match wits with these 3? Pair of people sitting next to each other. I'll take anyone. All right, come on down. And one more. And what is your name again?
Oh,
Dawn. Dawn. Who would like to join Dawn down here? You, of course, as the first volunteer, get your choice of seats. Who would like second choice of seats? Come on down. And this is, I forget the name already. Sorry? Eric. Eric, come on down. So Eric and Dawn, your task for the moment is to think of a team name as the teaching fellows think of the same. We now need 2 more volunteers. Come on, we're rolling film. This is not fun for those tuning in from home. 2 more volunteers. Yes, come on down. What is your name? Mimi. Mimi, and who will be Mimi's partner here? Think. If you're not sure of an answer, you can just put it on Mimi now, right? Who's going to work alongside Mimi? Come on, one more. I'm going to turn around back to the camera, and by the time I turn around, I need just 1 more volunteer to be coming down the aisle. Don't make me look like an idiot standing with his back to the camera. I'm turning around, and we have... Oh, this is bad.
Let the cameraman choose.
Would you... How, you know I think what's fair here. Mimi, choose your partner if you would.
Okay, I'll choose that gentleman down the left.
Would you be comfortable joining Mimi on the table?
Sure.
All right, what's your name again? Jerry, come on down. Jerry and Mimi, you 2 will need a team name. So as these 2 meet each other, let's go down here to the teaching fellows. What will be your team name for whatever it is this game we're playing?
We are the Durs. Right?
The Durs.
Dan Eugenia Ray. Durs.
The Durs. Okay, and what I need for Christine, if you wouldn't mind writing 3 columns for each of the team names, perhaps in order. So either board, but let's put them on the right. So the Durs. Yep, just a column for points that you will be tallying for them. All right, and meanwhile we have Dawn and Eric. Yes, Dawn and Eric.
We were very uncreative and came up with nerds.
Oh, the nerds. All right. Not so bad. So the pressure now is on Jerry and Mimi for the 3rd team name.
We'll be the Doctor's Pepper.
The Doctor's Pepper. Okay. Very creative crowd here tonight. All right. So with that said, for those of you who are tuning in via distance education, we asked the entire studio audience here tonight to come up with questions in the following 10 or so categories. They also hopefully provided us with the answers, the means via which the audience will now be involved. You don't get off scot-free. You will ultimately be the judges in this contest of wits. I am just going to be the pretty face that reads off the questions and the answers. You decide if the answers that's stated, and frankly sometimes the answer that's written, is actually the correct answer and acceptable. And meanwhile, Christine, if you wouldn't mind keeping track of everyone's points, just a total tally for the current totals would be great. With that said, any guesses as to what game we're about to embark on here? No? Oh, yeah, somebody's been looking over my shoulder. Yes, in fact, we have
Jeopardy!
demonstration in multimedia. This is followed, of course, by the sound that is going to be...
And now, here is the host of Jeopardy!
And that's where normally I insert my name. So here, I'm the one you've got. Here are the 5 categories. We'll do a quick refresher for those of you unfamiliar with a game of this sort, but the first category tonight will be bitter, referring, of course, to questions related to bits and bytes. The second category will be this, that, or the other thing, referring, of course, to secondary storage. Right? The cheesiness never ends in this course. We don't try very hard to be funny in this class. Followed by spam, category all about email questions. Fourth category tonight will be the worldwide wait, referring, of course, to the web. And finally, exam 1 will be our 5th category. Prior to tonight's random selection of contestants, we flipped a coin, and the nerds happened to win it. That actually did not happen. But the nerds this means that they will lead off with our choice of categories. What we will simply do is ask the nerds to choose a category. I will then read you a question in that category. Anyone may then, by a show of hands, to tell us what their group's answer is. If you're correct, you will win whatever dollar value has been chosen on the board. And if you're incorrect, of course, you will lose that dollar value. We call this Jeopardy, but it's sort of backwards, since we just go the easy way and ask questions and expect answers, not the reverse, since that would require a lot of editing, I think, sometimes. So Christine, meanwhile, is going to run the board for us, and ultimately, Christine, if you could be the arbiter of whose hand goes up first. Right? We're very low tech here. We don't even have so much as a light bulb in front of people here. So, with that said, the nerds, what category would you like your first question from?
Worldwide wait.
All right, the worldwide wait. So, and for how much?
I didn't know we get to pick values.
You do, in fact. $200 through $1,000 is the choices that you can awkwardly see up here.
Oh, is there actually anything tied with these values that will have weight for us at the end? More nerds. We'll go with $1,000.
$1,000. And in true form, I'm going to pull off the top sheet here with which to ask a World Wide Web related question, and no name on it, of course, but notice that it is apparently the only blank space on the paper. So we'll move on to the next category. Here is your question, anyone's question. First hand to go up gets to answer first. What is the default file name for a homepage on most websites? We got some bias here. Some groaning that the TF's hands went up first. Dan?
Index.html.
Index.html. Audience, do you agree? Disagree?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, then. Fantastic. So at this point, the DERs go up $1,000. They have control of the board, which, Dan, means your team can choose the category and dollar amount.
David, I'd like to go with spam for 1,000, please.
Spam for 1,000, Dan. Yes, spam for 1,000, and of course our email category. What are some TLDs, and what's that stand for? Oh, Eric.
Top level domain .ae for Arab Emirates.
Ooh. Some TLDs.
Some TLD. .uk for United Kingdom. Is two some? How about .com? .eu?
Audience, is that good?
.net.
All right, so get your 1,000. Excellent. So the nerds are now in control. That was a really pathetic clapping. How about Anyhow, nerds, you're in control of the board. What category dollar amount would you like?
Oh, let's go to 600 to change it up.
600 in the...
Oh, sorry. Exam 1.
600 in the exam 1 category. When will our tests be graded?
Tomorrow.
Audience? Yeah. All right, $600. That is, in fact, correct. It's a good question. All right, Durs, you're in control. You're up to 1,600. What would you like?
David, I think we're all bitter. For 1,000.
Bitter for 1,000. Of course, about bits and bytes for anyone's hand to go up first. sort of an open-ended question. Is there a way to categorize the various numbers of bits and bits that is easier to remember the values? Okay, no dumb questions in this class. There are confusing questions, so we're going to choose a different one. How many bits are in a byte? Ooh. Mimi?
8 bits.
8 bits in a byte? Excellent. So you're up on the board for 1,000. All right, Mimi, you two are in control. What would you like?
Spam for 400.
It really doesn't matter since you see the means by which we chose them. Spam for how much?
400.
For 4, nor do your relative choice of dollar values affect the difficulty of the question. Where are we? Spam, did we say? All right, what's a subdomain of harvard.edu? Nerds?
FAS.
Audience? All right, they like it, so another $400. It's a pretty good score here. Nerds, you are still in control. What would you like?
I'm gonna go with these guys. What was there? This, that, or the other thing?
This, that, or other thing for how much?
1,000.
For $1,000. Of course, a question about secondary storage. Oh, open-ended question. What is secondary storage? Eric.
Several different types of storage that could be added on to your already existing computer to back up files, for example.
We'll give an example, too. So I have a blank answer. So audience? Yeah? All right. You get it again. So 1,000, quite in the lead, Eric. What would you like? Don, you too get to choose here.
Sure. You pick how much?
We'll take exam for 1,000.
Exam 1 for $1,000. How was exam 1? Eric!
It was fairly difficult compared to the review questions, but not too awful bad.
No, I'm sorry. The answer is this emoticon. All right, good. For 1,000. What would you like next?
How about spam for 800?
Dawn, you picked the best partner, I think. Spam for 800. All right. What we got in the email category is Okay. Let's see. What's my email address? DERS.
CSCI E-1 at fast.harvard.edu. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It's KMJOHNS at fas.harvard.edu. Minus 800, I'm afraid. Hey! Nerds, you're still in control. Shut down. It's for that idiot comment.
Would like to do worldwide weight for 800.
Worldwide weight for $800. About the worldwide. Well, I didn't even try. Can you surf the web? Does that even mean?
Nerds.
Nerds.
Yes.
Audience, there's no answer. Okay. You get. Good. All right. For next on the board. What do you? Oh, that was for 800. 800. What would you like?
This, that, and the other thing for 800?
For $800. And your question about secondary storage is, good question, is a floppy disk a type of secondary storage? No, I don't think so. Would you like to consult with Mimi on that?
Oh, it is? Okay. All right,
Yes!
yes.
Yes, it is. Excellent. So, the Dr. Pepper are in control. What would you like? Time for a few more questions in single Jeopardy.
What do we got? How about
We're looking here, huh?
how about bidder for 800?
Bidder for $800. Your question is, Oh, we got it again. Get it quick. How many bits are there in a byte? Eric!
8.
Well done again. $800. All right. So let's just take a recap here. We got the Dr. Pepper at 1,800, the nerds at 5,000, and the Durs at 800. You guys are still in control. Eric, what would you like?
How about spam for 600, please?
Spam for $600. Your question about an email is... The question about email is... a question about emails is... good question. We'll be back after this. All right, so your question about email is, again, what does TLD stand for? Just raise your hand before Eric.
TLD. Top level domain.
Top level domain, audience, yes, of course. We have time for one more question in single Jeopardy. Eric, how much would you like?
Bidders for 600.
Bidder for 600. Last
8.
question. What?
8.
No.
It's been all the answers to bidders so far have been 8.
Oh, I see. $600. Question about bits. Our last question in single Jeopardy. It's a common theme here. What is the largest decimal number that can be represented by 1 byte?
Oh. 255.
Audience? Excellent. Strong response from the audience. All right, so let's take a look at where we are. The Durs are finally back in quadruple digits at 1,400. Nerds at 5,600. And the Dr. Pepper at 1,800. So I've done too much talking. Why don't we take a moment? These guys are all mic'd, and take a moment to get to know the teams here. So, Durs, Pepper, Dr. Pepper, sorry. Tell us about yourselves.
Well, my name's Jerry. I'm actually not a fast kind of thinker. I usually like to think about my answers before I give them, so I'm actually a lot smarter than I look. So.
Excellent. Well, we're glad to have you here. Amy?
I'm Amy, and I chose Jerry because I knew he was a deep thinker. So.
It would make you look good. Just kidding. So, Dawn, welcome to the show. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm just relieved that the exam's over. And this was a nice way of adding some levity to get rid of some of that stress.
Oh, excellent. Yes, there's no better stress reliever than sitting in front of 50 people on camera.
Well, I tried not to think about that. I was having a good time.
Well, good. And Eric, how about yourself?
My name is Eric, and I really like Ray's suspenders.
Fantastic. Let's jump right to Ray then, in fact. Ray, what's it been like working with this crowd this semester?
They haven't submitted the evaluations yet, so it's been fantastic. Number 1.
Excellent. And Dan, how does it feel to be the only one who's lost points for your team?
You know, I just want to take this opportunity to say that David's been lying to you about the rules. It's actually the group with the lowest number of points that wins the prize at the end. So sorry, folks. We've sweeped you. Yes.
And Eugenia, what's it been like working with this crowd this semester?
I enjoy reading the problem sets, and so I'm going to look forward to reading the exams tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic. Very neutral answer, though, notice. Anyhow, that brings us to Double Jeopardy, which simply means that all of the dollar values have been doubled. Our categories have changed from categories A to B, so I'm putting aside the several instances of how many bits are in a byte, and what is my email address, turning instead to the following 5 categories. Oh, you know what? Christine, tell it. Oh, it's a non-speaking rule. There's no Christine. All right, first category is guys in red shirts. One person got this. What's the connection here? No, but funnier. The guys at CompUSA all wear red shirts. This, of course, then is the buying a computer category, if that weren't sufficiently clear. So, category 2 is sharks with lasers. What's this getting at? No, but good answer. This is getting at optical storage. All right. How about Surf's Up? Easy one. The World Wide Web. Wizards of Oz. Ooh, clever, witty. No? Operating systems, of course. And finally, staff only. Questions related to the staff. That brings us to double Jeopardy. We flipped another coin, and the Dr. Pepper won this toss, so we're going to give them control of the board arbitrarily. What would you like?
Let's do staff only.
Staff only for?
2,000.
Ooh, for 2,000. This will put you even farther away from winning, according to Dan. Wait, what category did we just choose?
Staff.
Staff only. Oh, that's too easy. Okay, it's about me. Oh, good question. Is the staff helpful? Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, when they want to be.
Oh.
Which is always.
Ooh. Mimi, would you agree or disagree?
Quite helpful.
All right, that is in fact the answer. Yes is the answer. Well done. Oh, nice. All right, Mimi, your team's in control. What would you like next?
Surf's Up for $1,600.
Surf's Up for $1,600. Question about the World Wide Web is going to be, what is the protocol for communicating with web servers?
What was the rest
Could we
of the
finish the question, please?
Eric doesn't need it.
I would like to hear it.
What is the protocol for communicating with web servers and browsers? Eric and Dawn.
HTTP. Thank you.
Yes, good. All right, 1,600. All right, you're still in control of the board.
How about the Wizard of OS?
The Wizard of OS4
$1,200, I guess?
for $1,200. Your question about operating system is. Your question about operating systems is. What's one disadvantage to jumping on the Microsoft Windows Vista bandwagon this holiday season? I saw Eugenia's hand go up first.
If you have an older computer, it might not be able to support the graphical user interface.
Audience? Yeah! Do you know that's the right answer? Okay, so, but it is. Good, for $1,200, and the TFs are in control.
I didn't think it was going to be out
It's A-rated.
by this Christmas. Is
You know,
did I
it is in its
misunderstand?
January 2007 for the average home user. If you're a business person, you might get it towards the end of the year.
There you have
Oh, okay.
it. Straight from E-1 first.
Can I get a bonus?
Staff, you are in control. What category would you like?
Let's go for the guys in red shirts for 2,000.
For $2,000. Dan, if you answer this question incorrectly, you will be solidly in first place. For $2,000, what would category? I have 5 seconds. Guys in red shirts buying a computer. Should the average home user spend extra money for a dual-core processor? Virginia, again.
No, unless you're going to be running lots and lots of high-end applications at once.
Audience? Nicely done for $2,000. Dan, I'm sorry, you're now in second place. You're in control. Time for a few more questions and double Jeopardy.
Okay, we're going to go with sharks with lasers for 2,000.
Sharks with lasers for 2,000, of course, about optical storage. Interesting question. Could you... existential question. Could you consider a book made of paper to be a form of optical storage? Is this your question?
Yes.
Jerry!
I'd say maybe you could, but that might be pushing it a little bit.
Yes, that is in fact the answer. And you're in control of the board. Time for a couple more questions.
Staff only?
Staff only for?
Okay, 1,600.
For 1,600 staff only, who is the instructor for...
We'd like to hear the question, please.
Okay, so
Who is the instructor for computer science E50A?
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. It's E1. $1,600 for Jerry's. Who are you going to say?
Harvey Lightner, right? Professor Lightner.
No, it isn't. E1 is the question.
Oh, it's David Malin.
All right, good for, well, that's, there we go. Good for $1,600. So we have time for one more question in Double Jeopardy. It looks like we have, everyone is still in a position to win based on how they wager. Very close for the nerds and Dr. Pepper. Jared, your team's in control. What would you like your last question in this round to be?
Are we still online?
Yeah, which question would you like?
That's really bad. Okay, guys in red shirts for 1,600.
Guys in red shirts for $1,600. This will put you even more solidly in the lead. Your question is, why did I buy a gateway computer? This is not your question. All right. Go ahead.
Well, this person might have wanted to buy a computer that was affordable and yet was usable for sort of home applications, so they're not realizing they're not always the highest quality.
Oh, actually.
They're okay. I mean, they're not bad. This is
Oh.
what I've heard.
Or
they like yes.
Oh, with the cows. So officially, this answer is in. Oh, wait. We have sounds for this scenario. Do we? No, I guess we don't. We have this. No, we don't have this, apparently. All right. No is the answer, which is minus $1,600. But the other two teams can still ring in. Eugenia?
It's one of the vendors that will let you customize your options for computers. And way back when, they used to have a trade-in upgrade option. So once you bought a computer,
Is this your question?
after a certain period of time, you could trade it in for a new one. I'm not sure if they still do that, but that used to be a really good reason for getting a gateway.
All right, so audience, the answer officially is quote unquote good service. Well, up to
Thank you,
you.
Eugenia.
I think the applause has happened. $1,600. That brings us now to our final round. In Final Jeopardy, these guys will only be told a category in just a moment. After they're told this category, they will be allowed to wager up to the dollar amount they currently have. If they subsequently find that they have answered the question that I'll then ask correctly, they will walk away with that much more money. If, of course, they answer it incorrectly, they will lose that much money. And we have the nice distribution of points here whereby you can kind of blow it, even if you're in the lead here, depending on your choice. So let me give you guys each a piece of paper on which in a moment to write down the total positive dollar amount that you would like to wager from 0 to your current total. The category for Final Jeopardy tonight will be to be or not to be. Based only on that description, how much of your funds would... Don't give your instructor that look. Based on this description alone, how much of your money would you like to wager? Take a moment and jot that down.
Are the questions coming from students on this one?
Not from Jerry.
I don't think so.
The question will be coming from me this time. The one question I'll write myself.
Yeah, we
just borrowed one.
Oh, wait. Oh, I got that covered, whoever's whistling.
Facial expression.
I was right here shooting this.
Take a moment.
Yeah.
Choose your dollar value.
Perhaps he was talking to you then.
Jot it down and anything you got. Yeah, good.
Do you want to do it? What did they do? All of it?
Bit of awkward silence here since this is where they usually go to commercial break.
Count on them not going to the question.
As these folks discuss, notice we didn't hit on our audio daily double, which was queued up. I'll give it to the audience as a time filler here. The question was going to be, name this tune.
Eric.
For a box of nerds, name that tune. Anyone from the audience? Oh, I heard, well, I got two boxes of nerds. The startup sound from Windows? 98. Excellent. Well done for you as well. All right. We are back to the crowd here. You hopefully have a dollar amount that other people didn't see, since that defeats the strategic aspect of this. I can see it. Your question, now that you've written this in stone, is the following. How do you represent in binary the number 65,536?
Oh, is this timed? Doesn't matter. We don't need to because we've been so little, so we don't have the answer.
How do you write the number 65,536 in binary?
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry, David. Could I just have that number once more?
65,536.
Yep. Okay.
I'll hit repeat since these two teams have just written the question down.
I didn't go past. I don't even remember. I was doing this afternoon for
We can just say that. The stress we've been under, we decided with the dollar. It wasn't worth our brain.
We need one more. Nope. Yes? No? All right, I'll start with these guys look like they are set. The TFs look like they are set. Technically, we need to start with the person in the third place, I think, revealing their answer. Is that right? So Dr. Peppers, as you write your answer, they have... Okay, so what this team has written is this, which is a 1 followed by, what, 15 zeros? Okay, well, 1 followed by what? 15 zeros? Okay, so they have wagered 5,800. All of it. Now let's keep things into... Oh, and Dawn is changing her answer.
No, I just did a question mark.
Oh.
Change it.
Okay. So the nerd's answer is 2...
No, that's what we wagered.
That's what we wagered.
Oh, that's what you wagered. The answer is $2.37. The answer...
No.
We didn't put the brain power into it.
But did you put anything into it?
Question
Oh,
mark.
that's the answer. Oh, I see. That's the answer. And they wagered only $2.37, which means they really haven't taken a hit. So if the Durs have wagered at least $1,001, and if these guys are correct, enough, pretty much all of their money, well, the TFs will walk home the winner of the pumpkin is the prize tonight. Their answer was a 1 followed by... What, 16 zeros? 1 followed by 16 zeros. So we seem to have an interesting outcome here. On the your left, we have the Dr. Pepper who wagered 5,800 and have a 1 followed by 15 zeros. On the right, we have a group that wagered $6,200 smiley face and answered a 1 followed by 16 zeros. Audience, who is the winner? Do you really know that, or are you just... The answer, I'm afraid, is that 65,536 is the largest possible, is the total number of values you can represent with 16 bits. Recall, though, that in binary we start counting at the number 0, which means that with 16 bits we can only represent 0 through 65,535, which means you do, in fact, need that 17th bit. So our winners this year are the Durs. Congratulations to them all. A bigger round of applause for our volunteers tonight. And with that said, we will see you next week for our lecture on multimedia. Enjoy the rest of your week.
You were doing well there for a while. I thought we were going to play out.
Well, nicely done.